Now hold me back, hold me back.
Oh my gosh.
We're not ramping out here.
TAGOE INC. TAGOE TAGOE talk, bang bang, yeah. TAGOE talk, gang gang, oh yeah. TAGOE talk, bang bang, what? TAGOE talk, gang gang, TAGOE talk, you know what time it is? TAGOE talk, let me give it to them. TAGOE talk, you know what time it is? TAGOE talk, let me give it to them. TAGOE talk, you know what time it is? TAGOE talk, let me give it to them. TAGOE talk, you know what time it is? TAGOE talk, let me give it to them. That was so day, but I was enjoying the music way too much, can. Bang, ha, TAGOE talk, in the building, in the yard, in the auditorium.
Gang gang, you know that. And there are different types of family as well, obviously.
Yeah.
There's obviously the nuclear family, the immediate family, we have the extended family.
Large ones.
Exactly.
Then was the next, then long lost uncle, cousin, sister, oh my God.
Everyone is uncle, everyone is cousin, yes auntie, yes uncle.
Yes, uncle.
How are we related again? On your mom's side, second cousin's third son's daughter, who then had a godfather who was then... Oh, that auntie, yeah.
That one, I remember.
I know that one now. So that's the extended family. We have the reconstituted.
Yeah.
You see that one, we've chopped and screwed with the family unit. You know that you've officially been chopped and screwed. Screwed, chopped and screwed. You've been reconstituted. But on the level though, that's a reconstituted family. This could be the step families, second marriages, whereby foster families as well, whereby there's already that nuclear family unit. But the mother or the family units, they're very compassionate. They like to support their community, so they have room in their space or in their homes, and they allow other individuals who don't have their own nuclear family to come and be foster brothers and sisters. And I had a very good friend of mine whose family were doing this, and you can see the impact it has when you're part of a family unit.
It's a different dimension completely.
That feeling of support, that having that shelter, having that food, having people to talk to, people that you can to confide in.
It's that safe house feeling, that kind of HQ. This is your home base, like that's where you kind of recharge. And then
exactly.
It's kind of like the foreground of how you kind of reflect. You know, if those traits you carry in a relationship at home, like how you relate to your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, whatever the case may be, it helps, you know, carry you out and help build and grow friendships and romantic relationships.
No, definitely. In some aspects, you may say that the foundations of your family dynamics in terms of the relationships within your family and how you yourself maneuver yourself within that family normally has an impact on how you relate with other people outside of that family circle. Sometimes it's like for like, sometimes it's inverse, whereby you might be considered the black sheep of the family, or you might be the one that makes sure that things are popping, you're the plug. So you're able to relate that in life, whereby you're still the plug in your circles outside of the family, or within your circles outside of that family, you're still the black sheep, because that's how you're perceived within that family. So that psychological impact of how you may identify yourself within that family normally carries on to your how you relate with society as a whole as well.
There's also the single parent families.
Yes, which is quite dominant or predominant in the Western world, if you want to call it that.
Unfortunately, that's the case.
It might be becoming a lot more common everywhere, actually. Because obviously equality is coming in. The whole male role within the family unit, the father figure, the male-dominated society that we live in. It's no more in it.
I can do a woman's job. You know, vice versa. Woman can do my job. You know, them independency. We die together. Anyway, let's not go into that. A local situation that, you know,
you know, I'm sure you guys are aware of it. We'll go into it maybe later down the line.
Yeah, so by a single parent family, that's why if you break it down to the basic level, what a family is there for and what the purpose of a family is there to do, obviously that psychological support, that shelter, that love, that compassion. If you can get that within that single parent unit, then that's fine. And although the single parents might be initially what it is, that single parent has their own parents as well. They have their own brothers and sisters. They have cousins.
To make it less
that can contribute exactly. So they will probably end up forming more of an extended family network. But the start of it is with that single parent family. And on top of that, we also have they're childless.
Oh yeah, the childless, where two parties come together and just agree like, you know what, we don't need children, or unfortunately probably they can't bear children. They're okay with that.
And they're not considering adoption, they're not considering surrogacy. They're happy to be uncles and aunties for their loved ones or for their brothers and sisters, but within themselves an agreement has been made. They've had a clear communication. It's not that one of them is infertile and the other one has decided unwillingly to be like, okay, no children, and then on the side is making sure that they're getting some next children from the side chick.
Another party.
And then when that pregnancy becomes public, you said you didn't want children. No, you. I want children. I got you get me. So either way, it knows clear communication.
Because even I even know of a teacher that also because she teaches children and that, so she looked at that and she was like, nah, I teach too many kids. Kids are like like,
so for her,
I can't do it. I can't live.
The environment that she spends most of her time in has completely switched her off from becoming, and that's it. That maternal instinct.
Because the funny thing is, we asked her, "Do you have kids?" She's like, "No." She said it with passion in
it, and for some people feel strongly about it. And for me, as I said in it, everyone has a purpose in life. Why do we come to? So not everyone is here to procreate. The only thing I throw back in your face is that if your parents had that viewpoint that you have currently, you wouldn't exist. And for those that are real, they'll be like, you know what, I didn't want to exist. And others will be like, well, I take the point, but either way, as I'm here now and I'm making that decision. With things, if you do want to truly find out, it normally stems from a good place. So the family unit, we touched on a few other
because you know what, I'll say that even like knowing that like you're not ready to have a child, like you actually understand that, you know, having a child is a huge responsibility.
Yes, it is.
Like unfortunately, when you not unfortunately, so that's per se, but it's like when you do get a child, it's like there's a huge responsibility. There's you're looking after another life. Other than your own. This is not your caring for your partner that they can take care of their life and you can take care of your life. This is someone that doesn't know anything.
So it's absolutely dependent on you, innit? So
absolutely dependent on you, and it's that's where growing, like when a child grows up, it needs that guidance. It needs that guardian. It needs that protector. It needs that love, nurture, that foundation that you set in a family. That's where, you know, now, especially in my generation, there's a lot of, you know, back and forth. It's sometimes parents versus the kids. Parents versus the kids, where, you know, both parties don't understand each other per se, and that's where it comes down to communication and understanding. It's important to understand and communicate with your children, especially when they're going through the teenage years, because those are the life-changing years that take place.
So it's a cultural tension is what seems to exist. What you may be alluding to, correct me if I'm wrong, is the fact that currently with your generation, there seems to be that tension between parents and the children, whereby the parents have a different approach, have a different methodology in terms of how they want to bring up the children, how they want to set up their life, how they see them progressing through life, because they've gone through the experience themselves as well. And as I said, being a parent, they're just making sure that the mistakes they made, their children don't make those mistakes as well.
That shows that element of love, but how are you going to express that to the child that you're growing up with?
And that's a bit that normally is a miss. The parents is taking on that high priest role of I am the God of your life. I brought you forth,
and I can't take
and
you
from
out.
henceforth I shall take you away, or I shall You get me? So they assume that role, and within their own rights, as rightfully said, they've been providing for your care, comfort throughout your life. So they do have a stake in some of the key decisions you've been made. Unfortunately, when you get to that teenagers where that rebellious spirit is kicking in, you're finding your own identity. You're beginning to know yourself. Exactly.
You wanna find your adult identity. You wanna be like, you know what? My parents are adult. How did they get to this point? I want to do it my own way. You know?
You want to experience it yourself. But so communication definitely there should be some form of dialogue. This normally happens after the fact, as in an event has happened, and now because that event has happened, to avoid the repercussion that event led to, we now want to go back and have a conversation so that we avoid it. So let's say pregnancy is normally the case. If there's a pregnancy scare and it doesn't happen, okay, now let's talk about family, let's talk about wife, let's talk about the type of wife. That one we'll have that conversation. Or there's an arrest because of whatever
the case may be.
Okay, now let's talk about how you manage yourself in society. Let's talk about looking after your record. Those kind of things. So it's never proactive, it's reactive, isn't it?
They will act only when the situations occur. And, you know what, now is the time. You are now ready when the situations happen. Or rather than telling them, you know what, just walking them with that, holding their hand, rather than pushing them forward and say, okay, now you made a mistake, come a few steps back, and then now push forward, innit?
So I think so for even some people in my generation as well, and I put myself in that group as well, we felt like there was a disconnect. That we had a different thing because we were, I think the large generation where respect for elders was still something that was installed in us from our childhood, from our toddler, from our infancy. So although we could identify that cultural tension, that disconnect from our viewpoints and our parents' viewpoints, we might do the things in the background. We might do it on the sly, and then Wesley in front of our parents will give them that what's it called? Allow them to be in control. But now what is happening is that there's now a lot more pushback. Your generation ain't having it. They're challenging face to face, innit? And now, mom, I don't agree with that. For where? Me? Okay, yes, ma'am. But when I step out the building, out the door.
But that's what I'm saying.
But I come back home, yes, ma'am.
That created a double lifestyle.
Exactly.
That was not really helpful.
It wasn't helpful. It wasn't. And further down the line, it might lead to depression. It might lead to some anxiety issues. It might lead to some trauma that you yourself haven't dealt with, and you're not able to be yourself. And honestly, that's not the best way. But that was how we managed. But now there's that straight up pushback. I ain't having it.
You know, the constant clash. You know when two rounds are butting heads. That is how the situation happens sometimes.
As the saying goes, when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. It's static. You get me? We're stuck. We ain't going nowhere. Exactly. Or it's a massive explosion. Yes, so the family unit at the moment obviously is going through a lot. The family unit is under attack. Without trying to sound too negative, you can see it everywhere. That's at least the traditional family units whereby there's male, female, they come together, they marriage or they partners, they end up procreating or adopting or whatever route they choose to then have children. And then obviously bring up those children, installing them certain principles and help them to grow up and become their own people as well. However, that is, I wouldn't say rare, but it's becoming more and more less the case.
I guess the question you have to ask yourself, what is the current condition of your family? Once you ask that and identify that, question, I feel like working towards it just requires the small things like communication, understanding. Because as much as you want to confine in your family, does your family understand what your mindset is?
Are you all on the same path? Are you on the same page? Are you walking the race? Are you walking together? Or is it like disjointed? And as the saying goes, divide and conquer. So for me, it always comes back to that. Like, it depends on what your purpose is. You might have a brilliant agenda for your family where you think, yep, we have a plan in place. I want us to be able to achieve this. But are they on board? Have you discussed it with them? Have you, at least to the wife, to the missus, to your opposite half? Have you had that conversation with them? Are they on board?
And have you even considered the most important thing, which is environment? The environment you live in, the society you come
Tell me about it, fam. I've been ramping about this for a long time, fam. Your environment makes a huge difference.
Huge factor, because as much as a lot of traits you can inherit from your father, your mother.
That just sets the template. Again, what you inherit, that's literally the template. Your environment helps you to build upon that template.
Molds you into the
exactly.
person you become. me and my brother lived in two different situations.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I lived one side of the world, he lived the other side of the world. We come together. Yeah, sure, we have the traits of our father.
Yeah, but our mannerisms, our characters, our behaviors, our, you know, our understanding of life, our understanding of etiquette, all of those things will be completely different based on the environment we find ourselves in. So although a family, yes, as a basic unit is the standpoint, or that's the start where you want to begin from, obviously there will be other members of the family extended that can also support, and not just by blood, remember, through marriage as well, through kinship as well. It can also be through romantic relationship, and currently at the moment the word family is very generic anyway. Obviously there's what it's meant to mean, but when you're in pop culture or currently anyway,
and like the word family has it doesn't have its iron grip anymore.
Brother from another mother, all of those kind of things
it's
shows
now,
you.
it's now loose. You can call anyone your family as long
anyone
as
that
as long as they make you feel
supported,
like, you know, that you're a unit, like you're stronger than just saying I'm a friend or I'm a best friend. Like there's deeper loyalty, there's deeper, like it's like you feel like you've grown up with that person. Or,
as long as you can depend on them, someone that you can
that's
depend
like your
on.
home. That's your other home, innit? Because like they say, home is where the heart is. That's family in a sense.
Definitely.
That's where, you know, people take pride in it by saying, oh, he's my family. He's one of the
exactly.
We go around saying, oh, brother. You know how many people have called
brother? Exactly.
And we even use the term so loosely. Oh, that's bro. Wait, bro. Brody. Fam, I've used it too many times. But at the end of the day, family's there. No matter what. Family is there to stay. Anyway, in some cases,
In some cases, obviously, this is not. We're not painting it with the same brush stroke.
But this is. We're talking from an ideal world perspective. Because remember, 4 dimensions. They might say it's 3.
Right, it's 4 dimensions. You get me? It's about the what you can't see in it, what you can feel as well. And that's where most of our feelings about family normally comes from, is feelings. Feelings that there are people in some families that are fighting, like inside.
They argue,
and
even fist fights.
But they're still together, especially when they step out and they're in the public eye. They have to maintain a certain persona and maintain a certain image. So within internally, the family might be going through a lot of hardships and crisis, but externally they have to maintain a certain facade.
To show that no matter through the trials and tribulations, the love's still there.
So why is that need? Why do we have that tendency to do that as a family? It shows you once again that what a saying that my mum always used to say is that you don't go and wipe your ass in public. That's something you do in private. So although you might be going through, once again, excuse my French, might be going through shit within the family, you make sure you sort that out, clean it privately, and then when you step out, you're smelling fresh and so clean, so fresh, so clean. So you might even, you don't even, that's kind of issues with family. You don't even use tissue. You get me? You use a bidet. You get me? Get that water, make that temperature nice. Make sure it's.
I know. Anyway, that was TAGOE Talk.
So I was just trying to be a bit illustrative there, but you know.
Listen, he's a bidet. He's a bidet. Do you hear the accent as well? I don't know. Anyway, this was TAGOE Talk. We're back.
Exactly.
We're good to be back.
We're happy to be back.
We're more than happy to be back. This was another installment of TAGOE Talk, baby.
You know.
We're done with relationships.
So you know the levels already.
We're done with relationships. I wonder what's next.
Oh yeah, we got more coming, fam.
We got more coming on the way. You don't know what topic's coming next, you know? What topic do you want to do?
Comment in the section. So we got our own list anyway.
Yeah, we got our own agenda. But
exactly.
You know what? If there's a pressing topic that you really want us to dive into, you know,
you get me?
We got it for you.
We can go deeper in it. We can delve deeper.
We can bring the political.
We just been diving in the shallow ends at the moment. You get me? Because some of us, when we're swimming, we need to make sure we can still touch the floor, innit? But if you man allow us, we'll go into that deeper where we have to tread water. You get me? Tread the water, innit? You get me? Or float. But anyway, make sure you like,
baby.
Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel.
Cheers.
Because we're popping right now.
Hey.
We're ringing right now.
Yes, indeed.
We're looking sweet right now.
Yes.
That was TAGOE Talk. We out, over and out, baby.
Yes.